আরো কিছু কথা বলা যায়, আপনাদের কিছু কথা শোনা যায়। তা সতীনাথ যেটা বললো আমাকে, কি করে লেখো, লেখা ওরম ভাবে কিছু হয় না। যেমন আমাকে সর্বরী ফোন করে বললো বিধি দিয়ে একটা কবিতা, তো তখন এই সময়টা আমাদের সবারই লেখার একটা খুব বিরাট প্রেশার থাকে, পুজো সংখ্যার লেখা। এখন সর্বরী বলছে তাকে তো দিতেই হবে।
তুলবো।
San Antonio nearly caught them by surprise. Undaunted, the text user.
যাও তোমরা হাঁটতে হাঁটতে থাকো।
বোর্ডের মধ্যে ওটা বলি না, এই সুন্দর গাছপালা রয়েছে তার একটা ছবি ঠিক আছে।
আমি তুলে দিচ্ছি।
Well, we go to
Yeah. দেখো পড়ে যেও না।
আপনি তো আছেন বিরক্ত বাঙালি। ওগুলো সাঁতার জানে? হ্যাঁ
ডেফিনেটলি।
তাহলে আবার এই জলে তুমি ইচ্ছে করলেও ঢুকতে পারবে না। প্রচুর সাঁতার জানে।
ভালো কথা বললাম, শুধু হ্যাঁ।
First, we'll keep all body parts inside the blue rails, okay? We're gonna come very close to some walls here. Also, other boats. Okay, do not stand up, whatever you do. We have very low bridges here that arch over. Hate to see anybody hit their head. And also, no smoking. I'm standing on national phones. Wonderful thing for Facebook, texting, and selfies. You start talking on it, people around you might throw you overboard. that leisure boat. Okay? Now, that will go and begin. First of all, let's get a raise of hands. How many people? Now, not to be confused with the Jennifer Lopez Bridge. And to the left of the boat, the Amani La Mansion Hotel. Now, this was built back in 1853 as St. Mary's School for Boys. It later became St. Mary's Hotel that it is today. If you had a chance to go in the lobby there, it looks the same way it did back in 1853. Fully restored. Now, this hotel does sit directly in front of the Alamo. So before construction, we had to do shadow testing to make sure no shadows ever cast over it out of respect. So it is a little bit shorter for the rest of the hotels that are around us. And off to the front right, Casa Rio Restaurant. The very first eating, a restaurant. Now, make a long story short, we had a construction
fertile land west of the Sabine and east of the Colorado. For them, the dream of Texas was born. A self-proclaimed dictator had come to power in Mexico. His name? General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. Santa Anna.
Can tell me what place played music like this? Does anybody on board like live music? How about country music?
This Texas hat.
Rock and roll. Blues. There's a black monument. That's the Platt Simpson building. You can take your horse in there, have new shoes put on its hooves, have a veterinarian take a look at them. There was one drugstore within hundreds of miles of this place. It was right over here on the left-hand side, right in the center of this block. Look at the tallest building with the blue sign that says Grove Soda, Wild About Music. On my left, it is the famous Morley Brothers Grove Drugstore, built there in 1874. Look at that huge cast iron Queen Anne Bay window on the front. Look at the little stained glass windows above the first set of windows. If you look at them closely, you'll still lives up there on one of the very top floors. It's actually her private residence. And for you folks that love going to the movies or the theater, on my right, the beautiful old Paramount Theater, built there back in 1950. It has showed everything from silent movies, 111 feet tall. It's built out of red granite, limestone, cast iron, and copper. Get your duck calls out on the right. Oh, if you said yes, I got you. Is it? It's not. What's the biggest state in the U.S.? Alaska. How many times bigger is Alaska than Texas? 3 times the size of Texas. Texas comes in at number 2. Folks, on your left-hand side, our state capitol building. I want to show you something on the building that I like. The state of Texas becomes a lot more hilly and mountainous due to an earthquake that occurred here in Texas several million years ago. It actually shook up this state, cracked it, and formed what's called the Balcones Fault Line in the state of Texas. They actually act like rudders, and then in the back of the truck, I've got a hydraulic rudder that's on a switch here that I can actually move back and forth to steer the very back of the truck while we're in the water. So it actually works pretty good. Yeah. Let's see here. It's going to cycle us through here. North of Boston, up there in Georgetown, the Sun City Retirement Community. But guys, I don't want to let y'all down. We got a beautiful female actress that has a house out here in the Westlake community. She also owns a restaurant down there on 6th Street. It's called Best Bistro. Who am I talking about? Miss Sandra Bullock. That is driving these trucks. I have never seen an iceberg out here. Thank y'all for the ones that got that joke. Probably Amy up here. Thank you. All right, folks. As we head under the water, so beautiful. Yeah. And directly in front of us, one of our other trucks here at Austin Duck Adventure, so you can see what we look like in the water. But guess what? Today, you guys and girls got on the faster of the 2 trucks. So we're going to pass them by. Y'all can wait through it. See what the side of the truck looks like. Now, as we're out here in the water, does anybody want to hear some music? In this ice chest, it is full of water. It is for you guys. Help yourselves. Come get you one if you want it. I will not deliver it. You have to get off your feet, get on your feet, come get it yourself, though. Come on up, get you some water while you're out here. My goodness, it's free, 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 free. Get on up here and get you some water. Square from about 26 to 36 feet. The deepest point that I've been able to find with my own boat, my own depth finder, is actually back up here by the Tom Miller Dam, folks. There is a spot up there by the dam where the water gets down to about 65 feet deep. Does anybody on board like to party? Well, they push all their boats. That stands for the Lower Colorado River Authority. And in 1940, with better engineering and materials on your right-hand side, folks, they built the Tom Miller Dam. Now, the Tom Miller Dam to your right is 100 feet tall to the upper railings. With the assistance of the other dams upriver to pass by my favorite restaurant in Austin, Texas. It's got a palm front roof, a pink pier, and a giant largemouth bass jumping up out of the water. On your right is the famous hula-ha! River for 62 years. You can rent that boat out for private parties, charters, all kinds of stuff. It runs up the river for about... I can give you a little hint. She starred with him in a famous movie they made together called The Coal Miner's Daughter. A little short red-headed gal by the name of Sissy Spacek. That's right, that was his girlfriend. What part did she play in that movie? Loretta Lynn, the Coal Miner's Daughter. And that will bring us back up on the dry land as we dig our way back up out of the water. Yeah. Now, folks around that deck. That's pretty good. I need to jump the fence, glue it into his mouth, and then put a t-shirt on that says I wrote. Has anybody been up to Round Rock, Texas yet? A little north of Austin.
Right. Garbage.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do since we got a little time before we head out of here today. We're going to play a little music trivia. How's that sound? Yes, Randy. Woo! How many of y'all have jumped up that blue shuttered hotel on my right? That's called the old St. Charles Hotel. Look at that black wrought iron gate that says St. Charles. That's the original one from the year 1874. It is still in place today. And if you had any problems with your horse, everybody brought their horses to you know, folks, I get asked a lot of questions on these tours, and one of the most asked questions that I get is, how many people live here in Austin, Texas? What's your population? You said, yes, I got you. Is it? It's not. What's the biggest state in the U.S.? Alaska. How many? And in the back of the truck, I've got a hydraulic rudder that's on a switch here that I can actually move back and forth to steer the very back of the truck while we're in the water. So it actually works pretty good. Yeah. Let's see here. It's going to cycle us through here. That was 102 years ago when the Titanic went down. But since then, bilge pumps and flotation tanks have come a long way. We've got some of the safest vehicles out here, folks. In 15 years of me driving these trucks, I have never seen an iceberg out here. Thank you all for the ones that got that joke. Probably Amy up here. Thank you. All right, folks, as we head into the water. So beautiful. Really fast. Yeah. And directly in front of us, one of our other trucks here at Austin Duck Adventure, so you can see what we look like in the water. But guess what? Today, you guys and girls got on the faster of the two trucks. So we're going to pass them by. Y'all can wade through it. See what the side of the truck looks like. Now, as we're out here in the water, does anybody want to hear some music? Gilligan's Island! Who used to come home from school, raid the refrigerator, and watch this stroke? I got a little better music than that. How about this song right here? In this ice chest, it is full of water. It is for you guys. Help yourselves. Come get you one. It weekends, all the folks that live out here on the water take their boats back in there. I guess they like to dry their tennis shoes on the power line. Miller Dam. Now the Tom Miller Dam to your right is 100 feet tall to the upper railings. With the assistance of the other dams upriver to pass by my favorite restaurant in Austin, Texas. It's got a palm front roof, a pink pier, and a giant largemouth bass jumping up out of the water. On your right is the famous hula-ha! Years ago, down in San Antonio, Texas, I was down there walking through a bank. So was he. We almost ran into each other walking through this glass door. He looked at me and I looked at him. I knew exactly who he was because I've seen almost all of his movies. Great actor. He held out his hand. He said, "Hi, I'm Tommy Lee Jones." I said, "Hey, I'm Randy Larson. I'm a tour guide down in Austin." He was not impressed. But I told him about coming out here on Lake Austin. He said, "Hey, you know, him and his girlfriend used to live out here in that set of condominiums back in the late 70s, early 80s. My challenge to you folks, Who was Tommy Lee Jones's girlfriend back then when he lived out here on Lake Austin? Lived with him. Sandra Bullock, no? I can give you a little hint. She starred with him in a famous movie they made together called The Coal Miner's Daughter. A little short red-headed gal by the name of Sissy Spacek. That's right, that was his girlfriend. What part did she play in that movie? Loretta Lynn, The Coal Miner's Daughter. And that will bring us back up on the dry land as we dare way back up out of the water. Yeah. Now, folks, and 15,000.
Go over some required, keyword required, United States Coast Guard rules. It's an extra $5 to step out there, sir. No, go ahead, sir. You're welcome. We have some required, keyword required, United States Coast Guard rules to go over. The first one is life jackets. Now there's two. I don't care who gets the other one. No, we have plenty of life jackets available. We have...
Pelicans.
We imported them from
Wow.
New Jersey.
এটার ছবিগুলো তোলো এটা কিন্তু ভালো হবে। This is nice picture. This is a nice picture. Pelicans.
We imported them from
Wow.
New Jersey.
এটার ছবিগুলো তোলো এটা কিন্তু ভালো হবে। This is a nice picture. This is a nice picture. Ooh, look at that.
Right here.
Now it's starting. Wow, that's nice.